Hello, this is Perri Mink. This is Perri Mink. It is Tuesday, February 16th, 2021 at about 2:15 in the afternoon. And if you've been watching my Facebook posts and my Twitter posts, the recheck inspection from the Housing Authority happened this morning at about 9 o'clock to 9:15 this morning. And they already know what this is and what's going on. They already know that it's premeditated and that the landlord and the VA and the DA and the public defender and the law enforcement are all part of this Nazi regime that comes from the Catholic Church. And I already proved it some time ago, and they know this. And so I still don't have gas for hot water, the stovetop burners, or the furnace. And again, he behaved as if I was to jump through hoops and that he didn't understand what was going on, and that now all of a sudden the information changed and I was supposed to call PG&E. And I told him, I repeatedly told the landlord about the gas being off. I had told him as well that I did not request that the gas be turned off. They're claiming that PG&E turned it off and that the only way that they could turn it back on is if I contact them. Well, I have contacted them numerous times. And as a matter of fact, when I contacted them back in August, it was for other issues and had nothing to do with turning off the gas, and they came out and turned off the gas. These people are Nazis. The federal government is supposed to take out Nazis, not support them. They knew that this is a Gestapo Jewish ghetto apartment and that unbeknownst to me, they were going to terrorize me while I'm in the unit and even when I leave the unit. They have come in numerous times stealing my property, stealing evidence, damaging my property, moving my belongings around to confuse me. And I've complained numerous times. I've complained to the FBI, to different, the VA Inspector General, I think it's called. I've contacted, other government, U.S. government, federal agencies, and when I have, they ramp up terrorist attacks. That's not the United States. That's coming from a terrorist regime, and I prove that it's coming from Catholics. This is what they teach in the Catholic schools. And it is illegal. They do not believe in property rights, and they use sex as a degradation to justify stealing people's property, going on a rampage. It's similar to what they were doing to the Huguenots, the Calvinists, the French Calvinists, and they were actually attacking their, private parts and doing it in public. Well, this is very, very similar. They are doing it in public, and they're using people to continue to proceed with their genocide process. They're at the stage of doing this one at a time. So as each of us goes to the medical office or we go to the government for whatever reason, in my case it was a lawsuit, that's when it's a trap. And they're not telling us. There's no warning. I've been spending my time, my money, my energy to allow the public to know what this is. They have used numerous suppressive terrorist measures to keep us from talking. That includes at the condo complex. It includes at the mobile home park where I was at. It was about my case. They are using every tactic that they could think of, whether it be sex, lies, actual physical attacks. They threw my pot on the ground last night. And so again, they've attacked me through a physical offense as a threat. If you keep seeking justice, we're going to continue to harm you physically. So right now, we're just going to keep harming your plants and your dog. Then when we feel like it, we're going to ramp up more of this psychological degradation on you so that you have panic attacks and hopefully you'll have a heart attack. That's what they're doing. So I have worked day and night legitimately pursuant to our laws, and the Catholics do not believe in applying our laws. They apply their Holy See canon law, and it falls under social action. And where do these social actions come from? Through their orders. What are their orders? What does that mean exactly? The orders come from the Catholic Church, Vatican, and they come through the dioceses, and then they come down through their schools and their churches and organizations. And the women go to retreats. They don't call it monastery here. They call it retreats. And the women are taught to operate their very nefarious, very clandestine terrorist tactics. And it's a conditioning process. And that conditioning process conforms the mind of the student, the pupil, the person in their regime. So when they go out to perpetrate this terrorist tactic, they think they're doing the right thing. They think that they're God and they are doing this right. That it's what you do. This is what you do. It's exactly what the Nazis were doing. Hitler went to a Catholic monastery. That's where he was trained as a young, I don't know exactly what age he attended the Catholic monastery, but it was, in his childhood. And I don't know if it was his early part or his latter part. And that's where he learned these very demented and very volatile methods. And so they bring that into society. And so when they influence other people, the other people don't know where it's coming from, because they don't say, I'm Catholic and this is what we were taught and we're God. Our religion believes that each individual is God and that makes us right. And we are taught to be anti-Semitist and we are anti-Protestant. We don't believe in veterans and we're against the American dream. They don't come out and say that. And as they go to each person and say, hi, I'm so-and-so, I attend the, Christ the King Catholic Church, and my son goes to, De La Salle Catholic, all-boys Catholic school, and we're trained in guerrilla terrorism, and we use rape to get away with a lot of different activities, and that's supposed to be normal. And then when we go into the government offices, because that's what they want us to do, we're supposed to push out these people because we're taught we don't, those are the people that you're supposed to get rid of. We're God and they're not, and they need to leave. And so then we ramp up terrorist tactics on them. And how do we do that? We play all these setup games that they teach us in the schools and at the church, and then that's how we get the upper hand. They don't say that. They're not going to introduce themselves and say, hi, I'm Catholic Nazi. I attended De La Salle all boys school, or I'm, so-and-so, I'm the, I'm the Speaker of the House. I attended this Catholic school and I'm the Nazi here and I get to do this. They're not going to say that. The first response for them, and they're trained in this, is to not say anything. And then they're supposed to ramp up in very nefarious and clandestine ways. and then they're supposed to shut the person up, which means eliminate them, and they call it a death sentence. And it's illegal. So here I am today, and the housing authority, he says I was supposed to call. And I said, no, I'm not supposed to call. You know, any government employee has the right to contact another government entity to say, I'm reporting a case where a litigant was destroyed through the legal system, and that person is now being forced in the housing system, and this is a terrorist tactic, a terrorist attack on this individual, and they are still harming this person. They are still attacking this person, and that is against our laws. And you are supposed to be able to contact U.S. Homeland Security, and as an employee of the government, feel safe to be able to report that this particular recipient of subsidized housing is being terrorized. And the other government entity is supposed to receive it and not attack anybody. They're supposed to stop the terrorists. And so Nancy Pelosi is one of the top lead. Catholic Nancy Pelosi is one of the leads. And Gavin Newsom is doing it. They're all over the place. San Diego. They have a lot of recruits. They're recruiting Jewish people and teaching them how to do this. These are not religious Jews. These are secular Jews who just call themselves Jews, but they're not. They probably don't even know a lot of the stories in the Bible. And so this is how dangerous it is for us. So again, it's they were saying the inspector today came out and kept denying me that I was explaining to him that this is simply another terrorist tactic to put me out in the street, and it is illegal. Not only don't I have to call when I didn't turn off the gas, I didn't ask for PG&E to turn off the gas. They know that they turned it off on their own with the other terrorists. And so there's no reason for me to contact them. I already contacted them, and that's plenty of information for them to then forward that information to the appropriate parties. So for them, they're supposed to then contact U.S. Homeland Security and say, this tenant at such and such a 1624 LaSalle Street in Martinez, California, is being terrorized. And then that's their right to have safety, because they then contacted the appropriate U.S. government office to protect this person in subsidized housing from further terrorist attacks. And they are using utilities to do it. So it's now about 2:30, and I will keep you updated and let you know what else is going on. Winnie is not doing very well. They poisoned some of the items that I purchased that are really healthy, both for him and me. And I noticed when I went to use one of the items, he immediately got sick, like he had gotten the rat poison, the poison. There's two types of rat poison. I can't remember which one that was, but there was two types that they were using. And so I immediately had to, remedy that. So I can't use any of those newer items that I purchased because they illegally enter the unit here, and then they start putting poisons in his food. And so it's very scary. I'm in Contra Costa County, central Contra Costa County in the San Francisco Bay Area. This is in the East Bay. And this is a Gestapo Jewish ghetto apartment. And so far, I have had no contact from government to protect me. None. All right, thank you for watching. It is Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. And I'm signing off for now.